Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we are working with Cobra lilies. I have been trimming these guys up for the fall and it's time to repot some. So if you missed the video on trimming them up and fall care, make sure you check out that video. Otherwise we are going to jump right into repotting one of these guys here. So I got to clear some of this stuff up because I literally just stopped the last video. So I'm going to get rid of the pictures that we don't want anymore. And I think what I'm going to do is this guy here is a good sort of happy medium guy. I'm going to give him a good cleanup and repotting, and the rest can just go down for now. So I'm taking not my smallest but not my biggest, and we are going to make a pot and get him in a pot. I'm just working off camera here, putting these guys on the floor. They were just they were still wet an hour ago, so that they're still really waterlogged and heavy. There we go. I have my bleach bottle that I am going to cut into a pot. So I love recycling bleach bottles for this sort of purpose. Other big white containers, anything like that would work. They like to have a low pot that is a light color that reflects the heat. They don't like warm roots. So I find these bleach bottles, they do quite a good job. And this particular one even has the lines cut in it for me. So you can see how deep this current pot is, which was a yogurt container. I'm going to make it about the same, just a little bit deeper. And I'm just going to start the cut right here. So this bleach bottle I've been saving since the summertime for this. Hopefully I have a sharp enough pair of scissors. I might have to switch out my scissors because, oh, there we go. Starting to cut. Not exactly the best pair of scissors for cutting plastic, but that's okay too. Here in the greenhouse, we like to wing it, so worst case, I got other scissors in here. Oops. So the top, I haven't found any useful use for it other than they make good funnels. Doesn't smell like bleach, I just had a smell of it. So there's our new container. I'm sure I cleaned this out in the summertime when I used it. I'll give it a rinse in the sink first. Other thing you got to do now is make sure it's well draining. So I'm going to just put some half sort of twists in there with this to give it some drain holes. Don't be shy with the drain holes, they need good drainage. Obviously these two that I'm doing now aren't going to be as efficient because they're higher up. So when you turn the container that way, we want the drain holes along the outside lowest ridge. But these two, just in case. So there's a bunch of good drain holes in there for it. And I have some media soaking in the sink because we want to work with wet media here. So I'm going to pull that out of the sink now. And it is peat and perlite. You can see it in a bowl there. And we're going to swing over to the sink, I'm going to swing over to the sink, give the pot a good cleaning out just to make sure there's no bleach left in it. As I say, this thing's been sitting around since the summer for this exact purpose, and I'm sure I cleaned it out then. I don't smell any bleach, but I'm still going to give it a good clean out just to be safe, so I'll be right back. Okay, cleaned that out, grabbed the white tray while we were at it, and we are going to get started unpotting this one. Now my goal is not to divide this, but likely I'm going to get some divisions out of it because that's just the way it is. I really don't need any more Cobra lilies. Here, check this out before we go. I have just pulled out of stratification a whole bunch of Cobra lily seeds. They've been in stratification for 6 weeks now. They just came out of the fridge. I just actually opened it with you guys together. I hadn't seen in there, and they all look great. No mold, no nothing like that, so that's a whole lot of Cobra lily kids. Put them under some lights, maybe with the nepenthes seedlings, and see if we can get some germination over the winter time. But if you missed the first video, I did a whole lot of hacking. Tried to make it as airy in there as I possibly could. I can see deep within there's a bit of black soot mold just because of lack of airflow. So that's why we're going to clean this up really good today and repot it into something bigger. There we go. So here is our first look together at this Cobra lily. You can see it's in a peat perlite mix. That's exactly what I'm going to be putting it back into. You can see it's tried to go down instead of up, making some cobra lilies against the side. Good root system. Here's some runners here, some rhizomes, a bunch of them spider webs. I want to really get in there and thin that out. There's still even a spider crawling around in there. I just pulled these in. There's another one that's sort of divided over there. So we'll see what comes of this. I may end up with a bunch of little cobra lilies here. But anyways, I think the best thing to do is we're going to take this guy over to the sink and give him a good clean out without damaging the roots as much as we can. You can see the roots there, how fine the hairs are. We're doing this in the fall because we want to give this guy a chance to recover before growth starts again in the spring. I don't know if this one has any bloom spikes on it. Some of my plants did, some of my plants didn't. I don't see any on this particular guy, but if you're repotting and they have next year's bloom spikes starting, oh look at that, that's creepy. There's Halloween for you. Good thing we're filming this for Halloween. You're going to want to protect those bloom spikes when you're cleaning it up. But let's go to the sink now. Alright, to readjust to the camera. It's always very awkward filming at the sink. But we're going to plop this guy down the sink. So I love having this sink in the greenhouse. It is amazing for working on your plants, whether it be orchids or carnivorous plants. This just hooks up to a big hose or a big pipe that goes into my backyard and waters my grass behind the greenhouse. So I don't have to worry about all this going down the drain. If I was to ever get a clog in here, it would be super easy to unclog it. But I find for working on any plants, this is just so easy on the root system. Just great. Like, look at that, how it cleans it up nicely. We're going to clean this up, and it looks like we're going to be doing some dividing here. So we'll see what we get dividing. I'm going to turn up the jet a little bit here on it so that we can really dislodge some of this stuff. And look at how easy that cleans up with this. I think what I will do is I'll be separating it, but I'm going to try to put as many plants back in the same bigger pot as I possibly can. Seems like a good compromise at this point because I'm seeing lots of little plants in here. Nice healthy roots. So it's been in this pot probably 2 years. So you can see the roots are still nice, growing strong. You want to repot before the media sours anyways. So it's always good to do this looks like I could have probably lasted another year, but doing it at this point is just perfect. So one good thing about dividing this, I'll really be able to clean up all the little tiny the pups that are sort of coming out. I'll be able to get all the little pieces all cleaned up. So you can see here, this one almost naturally fell apart. This is the main, looks like, rhizome that is joining it together. So I'm just going to take my fingers and pull that apart there. What else do we have? This guy here looks like he could probably come apart. Yep, he's going to slip right apart here as well. Sorry, I know I'm not quite on camera. Some of these shots, it's really hard. The camera's like, oh, look at that. The picture went and formed inside the mouth of the other plant. That's what you call dense planting. It's like inside there. Well, neither one came out very happy after that, but so let's see. Here's another cobra lily. Pull that one apart. And this is going to be good because it's really going to give me a chance to get to the sort of center, to the core of the main plant, which this looks like it's about the main plant here. There's another little division right there, actually. And any divisions like this that are really tiny, you want to leave alone. It will take this little plant 3 times as long to get to a good size if you take it off now. So I'm fairly confident we're working with the main plant at this point. I'm probably going to cut off some undergrowth under here. I'll probably stop the camera to do it because it'll be kind of boring. Cut off some undergrowth here. Make sure I get to the center of it. Really give it a good blast out before I repot it. So let me do that now. Okay, so here's what we ended up with after cleaning everything all up. We have our main plant here and 4 little divisions. The little divisions aren't too little either, but I'm going to try to put at least a couple back on this in this pot. My goal was not to divide to get more pots of them, just to divide to make these guys healthy. So, interesting things you can note is you can see how the roots, they're only this deep. So they don't need a deep pot. So shallow is definitely okay. These things here are eventually going to come up as new plants somewhere else in the pot. So I'm just going to leave them as they are. You can see how the water didn't touch the roots at all. They're still exactly as they should be. You can see they're growing against the edge of the pot here. So it's very non-disruptive with the water. Definitely recommend that. My tap has hot and cold, so it was just like a nice room temperature water I was spraying it with. But you can see also just the way they grow. They like the rhizome right along the surface. It doesn't want to be planted deep. I'm going to want to plant this right here so that the roots are under and this piece here is just along the surface. Nothing is really buried underneath. So this one here will be happy to see the light of day. I'll have to angle him a little bit to get him in. But why don't we get started and see how this goes. I'll see how many I can fit in this new pot of ours. Throw these all off. So this is my main plant here. And it's actually creeping this way. So I want it to be growing into the center of the pot if I can, almost like an orchid. And let's see what we can do here. I have no idea how this is going to work out with these roots like this. I'm just going to try to feather some stuff back up in and spread the roots out a bit. And tuck in the runners so that they grow. And backfill it in. I am certainly no expert on repotting these guys. These are my biggest plants. I have repotted them, of course, in the past, but nothing to this extent. Nothing of taking cuttings and having little plantlets in there. So that one seems like it'll be okay. Once I get some water running in it, it should mix in with the roots a little bit more and get in between them. And let's try another one in there as well. This is the second biggest one. There's a little guy will be definitely easy to put in there. So why don't we try to leave the second biggest one, and I'll put that in its own pot. And we'll put this guy over on this side. Now, I'm going to try that. We don't want the roots all together, right? We don't want to squish them so that they all do this and touch each other. Whoops, bump the camera. Shows how close we're working to it. So I'm going to try to do this and get some soil, or this is peat, in the middle of it so that when I put it in, the roots are already going to be all sort of separated in their own direction maybe. That might help. And go from there. The stuff I'm working with here is just sort of semi-moist. As I'm getting down deeper in the pot, it's actually getting a little bit soggier than I would have liked. And it's going to be quite hard to get into the center of it, but there we go. It looks like it'll probably be pretty good. And it looks like it's going to definitely take a watering or two to get everything settled. I'm expecting to have to top up the levels of dirt at least once, because I'm not really packing it tight. I want the roots to just sort of hover where they are and the media to work around them. So here's the last one here. And I'm going to try to do the same. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Make a little ball of peat and just sort of slip it in the middle so they have to go in different directions there. And slip this guy in as well. Tuck him in there. I can see the media sticking in between the roots, so at least when we do this, it won't completely compress them and squeeze them all into one little group. Keeps them spread out a little bit. I don't know, maybe it would have been easier to fill it like 3/4 full and then just sort of lay them out, spread them all out horizontally. But this way they're still sort of staying in the direction they were growing too. But yeah, not too messy. Now I'm not going to fill this too full with media right now, even though it's going to sink, because I want to have that little ridge around here to catch the water and make sure it's forced down into the pot. And there we go. So I'm now left with this guy to repot. I'll probably put him back in the pot that we just used. And I'm going to go back to the sink, and I'm going to give this guy a good watering, and we'll see how he looks in a second. Okay, there we go. So I took him to the sink. I did have to add a little bit more media, just the stuff that was sort of down around the pot anyways, and I just sort of shoved it in with my thumb there and tucked it around. So I put 3 plants back in. I made sure all the growth points were sort of heading more towards the center, giving them somewhere to grow. This growth point is facing that way. This growth point is facing this way. And this growth point is kind of coming towards the camera. But made sure that they have at least somewhere to go. We have this guy left over that I'll put back in the pot that he came out of. It'll be a nice big pot for a little guy like this. And go from there. So I think what I'll do now, being it's just getting to fall, right? We're just at Halloween. Here on the west coast we'll get tons of rain, and I'm going to leave them out in the rain to sort of just sort of purge the pot a little bit, let the water run through them. It's always good to get rid of the tannins and everything that is in new media. It's always good in the old pots as well to do that. Just let the rain sort of wash out any kind of nutrients that happen to be in them from the previous summer before you sort of tuck them away. Give them a good rinse out that way. But anyways, I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, updates on how these guys are doing and everything like that, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.